This video is about this type of printer used in some of our scales and in some machines like the Mouth of Truth. This printer uses a mechanism made by Fujitsu. It's very reliable, but it is important to know something in order to be able to assess if it is working properly or eventually to adjust it. So first of all, this part should be parallel with this part, more or less. Should not be bent back or whatever. Otherwise, the cutter will not work properly. Another important thing is let's open it. Okay, when I close it down, these gears are latching down and it shouldn't move too much. It shouldn't move too much forward, otherwise it will latch, but it will be mechanically under stress. So if I push now here to close it, it goes down, but it doesn't go forward. It just goes down a little, you see, just go down, just moves a little, but not too much. So the distance must be maybe 2 millimeters in movement in this direction, but not more than that. So it is important that this board is adjusted to be in this direction, or anyway to be in the direction that is correct, not to be too far away from this part when it comes down. So this board, it is adjustable a little bit. It should be adjusted so it is in the correct position. So now if I push down, it will just close without making any special pressure. Now let's see another couple of things. The paper must be wide enough, because if the paper is not correct, the sensor, the paper sensor that is here we have the paper sensor, this one, will not see the paper. So if the paper is not wide enough, this sensor will not see the paper, this one, and then it will give an error, and this LED will start blinking, is exactly as we see now. This LED will start blinking. Another sensor is here, this one is a sensor, and this sensor will sense this part here, because this part moves forward. Okay, will move forward with the blade, so the sensor will notice if the blade is moving or not, and again will give an error if it's not returning back, and it will not return back if there is some stress and if this is not aligned well. So for example, if this is bent in some way or doesn't come down correctly without any trouble, the most important thing is that there is no stress here. So when I push down, it should not go, you see, it doesn't go too much forward, just a little. If you have to push a lot and it moves in this direction, the printer will not work. Sooner or later it will jam, it will stop working. Another thing that one should check is that these two latches here, this black here and this black here, are closed. That means, now I switch it off because I don't want to burn everything. They must be closed down. If these are opened, so they are open in that direction, if they are opened, or if this flat is not inserted well, the paper sensor will not work and the printer will stop working. Same thing will happen for the cutter. This is the motor, and it will happen the same thing here if this is not closed well and if this is not coming down correctly. So this must be aligned, these two must be closed. So once all these things are set correctly, for example, even normally we adjust this board to be a little bit, you see, it moves a little bit up and down. It moves a little bit up and down. It's because we use some screws, but we don't tighten them completely. We use some nylon locking screws, and we don't tighten them too much. Again, here there is this lever that will push on this lever here that will open the printer. What this lever does is just pushes down that one. So in some version here there was a screw, but this screw can give troubles because it can keep the lever too down and it will keep constantly pushing this lever. So better to remove this screw. If there is a screw in this hole, it's better to remove it. Now let's see how it works. I will put the paper forward like this, in more or less in the middle. Okay, I push a little down. Okay, I will switch on the printer, the power now, so the LED will flash 3-4 times, and then the cutter will adjust itself. Then now I am using a telephone as a serial device, so I will now go forward. Okay, so I will go forward with some returns, and then I send a command that will cut completely. Okay, you see? Then again I go forward, send a command that will cut completely. Okay, this is it. So if we see on what happens here, we go forward, then I cut, you will see that the PCB will move a little. Okay, comes a little up. This is why we have we leave these screws not tightened, so it is possible for the PCB to move a little. Okay, they are not completely loose, but enough so the PCB has some movement, and it adds to the flexibility given by these springs. If everything is done this way, the printer is very reliable. But if for some reason this is under stress, because maybe it's too backward, or because maybe this has gone down a little, so there is too much distance, or some misalignment, then the printer will jam. So let's see if I go on like this, tac, tac, you can see again, tac, 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 cut, okay? It will move back and forth very smoothly. That's it. I hope this video has been useful.